We've in fact got the management of NTPC now joining us on the show. We've got Mr. Arup Roy Chaudhary, the Chief Managing Director of NTPC, on the line with us from Delhi to make sense of this news that has just come through. Mr. Chaudhary, thanks very much for joining in. You know, we've got the cabinet that's given a go-ahead and an approval for buyback program from the cash-rich PSUs. So give us a sense of what is the cash that NTPC is currently sitting on.
No. I don't know whether they have indicated which companies they have done. I am told the Disinvestment Ministry has said that this is a general approval and there is no company indicated in the cabinet note. So we'll have to still see what it is. But as far as NTPC is concerned, we have had a detailed discussion with the government, and we have had a meeting up to the level of the Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister. We have explained to the government why we are not in favor of a buyback, and because we have huge capex expenditure coming in the next year, followed by consequently in the 12th plan period. The government has accepted our explanation, and they have set us a very stiff target for capex expenditure next year. So I do not think this applies to NTPC at all at the moment. I have to see the actual cabinet decision to give you actually a firm response.
Mr. Chaudhary, we will just come right back to you. In the meantime, let's hear our Heavy Industries Minister, Praful Patel, and his reaction on the same news.
Heard that the cabinet has given a nod for PSU companies to buy back stake. What is the Heavy Industries Ministry as far as it's concerned, BHEL? How is this decision going to be welcome?
Well, I think the larger principle of PSUs being able to buy back their own shares or to be able to offload their shares to other PSUs or to the LIC, I think all these are welcome steps, and I think we, like private companies, have the opportunity to buy back their shares when they are trading at lower prices. I think the same option should be available to the PSUs, that flexibility. After all, PSUs are no different than any other private company in terms of what they're doing. So, and there are many cash-rich PSUs, so it will be good for them.
All right, and as far as a step for divestment is concerned, do you think this is a step in the right direction?
Well, I think overall it is welcome, because it's not a question of divestment. It's a question of if one company wants to buy the shares of another company, that flexibility should be available. I mean, it could happen in the private sector. Why not in the public sector?
All right, and in BHEL, everybody is talking about when the FPO is expected. Any thoughts on that? Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Mr.
Okay, so that was an ET Now exclusive. We had Nitya Balakrishnan in conversation with the Heavy Industries Ministers, who was welcoming the decision that's just come through of allowing cash-rich PSUs to in fact go ahead and buy back the shares. And in fact, Mr. Arup Roy Chaudhary, this Chief Managing Director of NTPC, is still on the line with us. Mr. Roy Chaudhary, we agree that right now we don't have a concrete list of names from the government's end, where they would be, going ahead with this decision and, asking for a buyback from these companies. But nevertheless, if you could just give us a sense of what the cash on the books currently is with NTPC, because as we understand, NTPC had about 17,900 crores of cash on its book as of September 30th. Is that a correct figure? And would that be enough then, just in case the government lists NTPC as one of the companies that should go in for a buyback?
NTPC, let me tell you, I heard what the Honorable Minister said, and it's a good thing that he said so. It gives a level playing field to the public sector also. But you must understand, these are all board decisions. The decisions are taken by the boards of the companies. And definitely, as far as NTPC is concerned, the numbers that you have said, I have to check back, but I would say that by the end of this fiscal, we should be sitting on about 15,000 crores, for which we have a huge investment plan in the 12th plan period. Our capex for 12th plan is 2,19,000 crores, which I think you know already. And our capex for the coming year is 20,900 crores. So whatever money is available with us is actually required to fund our capex. And we are going full steam into our expansion. You know that all our tender-related issues have been sorted out. We have started awarding the tenders. So I don't see any reason why we should get perturbed by this. We'll go ahead with our capacity addition program as such, and our progress will not get affected at all.
So, Mr. Chaudhary, you've outlined your capex plans to the tune of 12,900 crore rupees, but wanted to know that, given this amount, I know you'll get back to us on the figures, but, is there a possibility perhaps of a special dividend, if not a buyback?
No, there is a 20,900 crores, not 12,000, which is my capex for next year, which is a huge amount of money, and we have the money. We are a balance sheet funded company. And the other question that you answered is something that, the question you asked is something that I can't answer today, because that's a decision of the board.
Right. Mr. Roy Chaudhary, of course, there's been a whole host of news that's brewing across the power sector. We had the CCEA also meeting this morning, and just about half an hour ago, we got news coming in that the decision on imposing, additional duty on capital goods imports of 1,000 megawatts and above has been deferred for now. And specifically, we did see, a lot of the capital goods major react badly to that bit of news. But as a power producer then, how do you, what do you make of this news? Is this a welcome move? And what sort of negotiations are you having possibly with the government with regards to this issue?
No, in this issue, we have not much to say except that we would like the cost of the equipment to remain as low as possible, because we are trying to always work to generate the cheapest power available for the consumers. So any kind of effect which it has on the cost of the capital cost of a power project, we are totally against it. But having said that, our tenders, the costs are coming down every day, and we feel that even the domestic manufacturers that come and supply to us, almost 50% of their components are import. Plus, we at the moment give them a preference as domestic, so that preference will go the moment this comes in. So as far as NTPC is concerned, I don't think we get affected very much by this as long as the equipment comes cheap.
Okay, Mr. Roy Chaudhary. So just one last quick word then on, just how things have been panning out operationally on the ground with the company, how the last quarter has been progressing. We are, of course, nearing the, we've started the last month of this year in a way. So how is the last quarter and the March quarter worked out for you so far?
I think our third quarter was slightly bad because of the strikes and the coal problems. But since then, we have picked back. So by the end of March, we will actually achieve whatever we said we would. And I'm just keeping my fingers crossed to that effect.
Mr. Roy Chaudhary, appreciate you taking the time out and joining us on that piece of news. So that's the word from NTPC saying that they have explained to the company of not being in favor of a buyback. As of now, the FY12 end cash on books is 16,000 crore rupees, which is needed for capex, and their capex plans for FY13 are at a sum of 20,900 crore rupees. At the lowest point of the day for NTPC as we speak, 177 is where it's currently placed at.